something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay. And you're our listener.
Hey there, listeners.
Ho there, listeners.
In biggin, listeners.
That's right, everybody.
But not all at once.
Yep.
Everyone take your turns.
Nope. Everybody at the same time.
No, please don't.
We will sink Listeria
That's
to the
what
bottom
I'm worried
of the
about.
ocean. Yes, and everyone, we will evolve gills, and we will become New Atlantis.
Oh.
Vlatlantis.
Atlantis?
Vlatlantis. No.
Atlantis.
Vlatlantis. We will control the oceans. We will scour it for treasure and unknown riches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean we've barely explored our oceans. Who's to say what's down there?
We don't know.
I think profit is what's down there. You know?
The future.
I'm just seeing big old dollar signs, baby.
To industry.
Yeah, baby.
Underwater industry.
Yeah, there's a bunch of lithium down there. We're gonna go get it.
Ooh, woo, woo, woo,
Ooh, let's make some batteries. All right, Listeria, Vlatlantis, let's go. The only problem is that I won't be able to control the populace with my murder birds.
No, you're gonna have to come up with another aquatic animal to send out to
bats.
enforce your will.
Yeah,
Aquatic bats.
Aquatic bats.
Oh my God!
I'm not. You can't teach birds to swim, but you could probably teach bats. They got flippers on their arms already. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Jay. They're basically they're not flying. They're swimming.
Yeah, they don't have wings. They have air flippers.
Air flippers.
It's much different.
How did I never see this before?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, welcome to Fix It. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay. That's Adam. You may know us from our YouTube reaction channel, absolutely sweeping the globe.
It's crushing it right now.
Just absolutely crushing it. Previewed, or you may know us from those guys who keep shooting off flares in the park, even though the police keep trying to catch them. Why are they doing that? It's not Roman candles. They're definitely full-on flares.
Yeah, flare guns. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird choice. Are they trying to signal somebody? I mean, we live in Akron. What's happening? There's nothing. There's no helicopters landing here. What's going on? Trying to get an evac?
I was born in Akron. I can tell you, there are no helicopters in Akron.
Kids with their flare guns. Anyways.
This is going to be fun is what it's going to be, Jay.
I'm exhausted. This is our podcast, Fix It, where every week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe doesn't quite get there, maybe just has a newborn infant at home.
Oh.
And we fix it. And this week, we are going to be fixing 2020.
Just last May, Jay.
Two?
Yeah. Came out last year.
Is it really just last year?
Yeah, last year.
2022's Ms. Marvel, the Disney Plus and Marvel live action television show, and we're gonna fix it.
We are gonna fix it.
This was a tough one.
It was extremely tough to fix. This was the show that came out. It was Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, and then in a couple months, and then it went She-Hulk.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is we're actually recording a little bit later in the week than we normally do, mostly because of scheduling, but also because we're like, I am not sure what I'm doing with this one yet.
Yeah, I mean, we've known that this has been on the schedule for a while, so my brain's been thinking about wow, okay, how crap. There's so much good about Ms. Marvel. We know what the problem is. How do we? I need to do research.
Yeah,
I need. To the Wikipedia.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, to the fandom page of whatever the Marvel wiki is, because I needed to read up on Kamala a lot.
Yeah,
and find out what her little section of the universe is like, because there's got to be something better than what was in this show.
Yes, in a pretty spectacular fashion. Didn't need to be better than what's in this show.
Yeah.
This show wasn't wholly like I enjoyed this show. I had a good time.
It was 75% of it was fantastic.
It's cheeky and fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Like,
and
if
Iman's
anything,
an amazing actress. She brought the life and energy to this
She really
thing.
nailed it. And honestly, all her family, everything going on at the mosque, all of that stuff
Yeah.
really is very intriguing and really very all the Jersey City stuff
Yes.
is a hoot and a half, and I really like it. It's when it actually has to be a superhero show is kind of where the wheels fall off.
Uh-huh.
But before we get into fixing Miss Marvel, before we just like dive in completely, we've come to my absolutely most favorite part of the podcast, the number one segment that you guys have all been clamoring for. They've just been shaking the gates and just waiting for us to open them and welcoming into our segment factory. We have put out 5 tickets in each into a random podcast segment, and if you find that golden ticket, you get to come on in. It's our segment, Roll for Convo. Our producer, Brian, who is truly an amazing human being, but also one step from eternal damnation.
Not just damnation, eternal damnation. He knows what he did.
Our producer, Brian, has given us 20 points of 20 conversation starters, and I'm going to roll this 20-sided die. And we are going to determine what Adam and I, how we're going to get the gears rolling, how we're going to get the wheels spinning. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to talk about right up top, and deepen our friendship, and just enjoy each other's fellowship. I'm rolling this 20-sided die, and it is giving me.
Is that a big O nat 1, bud?
That is so indicative of where my energy is right now. I am rolling a nat 1 critical fail.
Well, not. This is a great question. What do you get when you gobble down sweets?
Are you serious?
Number 1, what do you get when you gobble down sweets?
What do you get when you... Is that really the question?
What do you get when you gobble down sweets?
I was just talking about Willy Wonka. That's really the question?
What do you get
What do you get when you gobble down sweets? Eating as much as an elephant eats. What do you get when you're terribly fat? What do you think will come of that? I don't know the half of it. Oompa loompa. Is that really the question?
Jay, look at my screen.
Brian!
What do you get when you gobble down
To
sweets?
be fair, I did roll a natural 1. And so it being a critical fail of a question is technically appropriate. I'm furious at you right now, Brian.
What, because he's a wizard?
Yeah, because I was just talking about Willy Wonka.
Did you talk about Willy Wonka?
Well, it was just Halloween, so it's actually
It was
technically
just
accurate.
Halloween, yeah.
What's your candy game like?
So here I do actually have a candy game. This may surprise you.
No, I mean everyone likes candy. It's really hard not to.
It's
like
true.
It's designed in a lab to be
As addictive as possible. Yes.
Sugar is undeniable. I mean, I think we can all agree.
It
Yeah.
is. So when it comes to candy, my go-to number 1 candy bar, Milky Ways.
Okay.
I love, and I don't eat them I haven't really had one in a very long time. But my
Why not?
preferred, there are better, healthier snacks nowadays. I don't have a sweet tooth.
So you're saying all this time if I could have wanted to bring you a treat, I could bring you a Milky Way, and you'd be like, ooh.
Not really. I don't have a sweet tooth anymore.
I do also love a Milky Way.
My tongue is more I love salt a lot more than I love sugar.
Yeah, but if I brought you Milky Way, you wouldn't be like, oh, thank you so much.
I mean, it might take me 2 weeks to eat it.
2 weeks? It's one candy bar.
Well, like, we're talking fun size or like an actual bar?
I'm talking an actual.
No,
They're not this. You just want like this. They're not that big.
How big are they, Jay?
They're like like.
That is a fun size, bud.
That is not a fun size. Fun size is this big. Fun size. This is good podcasting.
Yeah, we're just looking at each other's hands, being like,
Yeah,
how big is a candy bar? It's
Yeah.
like 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches long, right?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, the candy bars are.
A fun
I mean,
size
in
is
this
like an inch and a
economy,
half.
you know?
Yeah, I'm sure they downsize the size of
Yeah,
candy bars.
absolutely. The shrinkflation is very, very real.
It is very real.
But I would love to bring you a little candy treat that you would be like, ooh, yummy. But you're saying a full-sized Milky Way would take you a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because I'd only eat
to
in like inch segments.
How many segments are we talking?
Well, I mean,
How
big is a candy bar? Is it if it's 8 inches? 8
Let's
days.
say a candy bar is as long as this phone.
Okay, which is what about
About as
8
long
inches?
as your palm.
About
Let's
8
say,
inches.
so people can imagine at home who are listening. Let's say it's a
Yeah,
candy
about
bar.
a week.
It's not. It's shorter than that. But let's assume a candy bar is as long as your hand. And I'm realizing you have very long hands.
I do.
And I forgot about that.
Jay, I can play a cello.
You sure can.
Yeah, probably about a week.
So you're saying you would cut when you indulge in a candy bar.
Well, now
You cut off
present Adam
1 inch of said candy bar.
Yeah. Because that's a lot of sugar.
Sure.
And remember when you brought me a latte a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, damn, that's a lot of sugar.
It was not a lot of sugar.
Yes, but for me it is.
Okay.
Did you notice how? Yeah, because my reaction to that, just the normal latte from Dunkin' was like, holy crap, whoa. So yes, I would be able to handle about 1 inch a day.
Bet you can.
Hey, context. What we're talking about?
So you're telling me if I brought in a full-on Milky Way and I said you need to eat this whole candy bar right now, you physically could not do it.
It's too much sugar.
At some
It
point,
also hurt my mouth. Probably.
At some point, how would it hurt your mouth? It's like the softest candy bar of all time.
My teeth tingle with too much sugar.
Your teeth tingle with too much sugar.
They do.
And
I also want it cold. I put it in the fridge.
After
Thin Mints, right?
The episode last week, and I feel like we really had
Thin Mints in the
really
freezer.
nice conversation.
We did.
And I feel like we really got somewhere
Yeah.
meaningful.
Yeah,
And I
we
think we had
deepened our fellowship.
I agree. But sometimes, this kind of behavior makes...
What, this kind of behavior?
Yes, it's
Excuse
behavior.
me?
You chose this life. Don't sit here. No. No. This...
Wow.
You saying that you... I'm sorry, but you sitting there looking me as a man in the eyes saying, I can't eat a whole candy bar. It makes my teeth tingle. It makes me want to put you in a locker. And I love you. And I love you. And I support you. And I know you're just being who you truly are. And that's wonderful and all. But sometimes you say stuff and it just makes you want to rage.
I get that.
Okay, so outside of Milky Ways,
Sure.
What other candies are we talking?
Snickers.
Okay, everyone loves the Snickers.
Yeah, Snickers are great.
Snickers-
It satisfies.
Yeah. That's it?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
Three Musketeers, because it doesn't have the nougat in it. It's just mostly like the.
I hated Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it's that for. I mean,
I enjoy a Milky Way.
It's too bland,
But
even for me.
I enjoy a Milky Way, but I will say texturally they need a crunch in them, and they don't have a crunch.
That's why you get Snickers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Snickers
isn't Snickers basically
No.
Is it Milky Way with
no.
Peanuts in it?
No, Milky Way is chocolate nougat and caramel
Mm-hmm.
and covered in chocolate.
Right.
A Snickers is nougat, caramel,
Peanuts.
peanuts, and chocolate. And Milky Way has more of a chocolate bent, whereas Snickers leans into like a clean nougat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're different. They
Sure.
are different.
No, I believe that they are different. I mean, especially because they have peanuts. Snickers has peanuts.
I love candy. I don't eat it a lot because it's not that my teeth tingle.
Jay,
From too much sugar.
I'm being true. I'm being.
I
truthful
understand.
To you.
I rejoice in who you are.
Feel like
and I love
can
you.
Feel it in my mouth.
I will shout our friendship from the rooftops. I do, however, sometimes you just
Pepperoni makes my lips and my
Yeah.
tongue burn, and sometimes too much sugar makes my teeth
Yeah.
ache. I don't.
This is normally a time where you would ask me what kind of candy I like. You know, if we're just like back and forth.
But you've already mentioned that you like you hate Three Musketeers. No, you like Milky Ways as well, and Snickers. I'm sure you're about to jump in with more though, because you're you, and I
You're you. I don't have to ask you. You're just gonna tell me.
Jay, you know how this works. You talk, and I'm a good sport. Everyone knows when it comes to conversation,
I know.
you're the pitcher and I'm the catcher.
That is very true. That is very true. Just because yeah. At the plate, the wind up. Are you a Reese's peanut butter cup kind of fella?
No,
Really?
I don't like the.
You like peanut butter? Or you like chocolate?
I do, but I don't like that combo.
I can understand that, but I think Reese's like transcends the combo. I think they're elevated to. I think they might be the most conceptually perfect candy.
Oh, I mean, it's because I like Snickers, which is the peanut. It is the peanut and chocolate, but it's the peanut butter and chocolate of the Reese's. It's like chocolate.
I don't know. You said it like you were from Southern California.
Oh,
Chocolate.
I see.
Yeah.
Take the whole 5.
Apocalypse.
Oh.
What's your most obscure candy that you like? Like, what's like the weird one?
Obscure. Oh, but I don't.
For me, dude, and this is like a weird thing that you would get when you were leaving the barbecue joints in Kansas City growing up.
Okay.
You could give them like a quarter, and you get a like a peppermint patty. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, man. I'm talking like a full on like mint, a disc of mint with covered in chocolate.
Well.
Oof.
Well,
Love
do
it.
you count those as like little after dinner mints?
No,
Okay, then not those.
no.
Because
You
I
like
mean,
an
I can
after
have
dinner
when those little
Do you like junior mints?
I don't think I've ever had a junior.
Do you
mint.
like raisinets? The
Huh?
raisins covered in chocolate. Are you a raisin person?
I am a raisin person. I do love. I have
I
been
love
known to
raisins, too.
shovel my entire mouth a preferred sweet from when I was a kid. Jay, I would cram my mouth with as many raisins as possible, and then drink a bunch of milk, and then just start chewing and hold the milk in my mouth. And that was it's like raisin milk.
Man, you know how to party last year. I tell you what.
I was a
man.
wild kid, man.
Oh man, I think I just found the best way to describe you to other people.
What's
At
that?
least what I know. In your true heart self.
Yeah.
Lashy was the kid that when he got raisins trick or treating, he was like, "Yes, yes, raisins."
I didn't mind raisins.
I actually don't either. I think,
I love raisins. Yeah.
yeah.
It's nature's
It was
candy.
more. I will say this: the raisin houses at Halloween. It was more about the attitude in which they gave you the raisins that was the problem, rather than the raisins themselves.
Because they thinking that they are better and they
Yeah, they're like,
more
we're
health-
giving you raisins.
more health
I'm like,
conscious than
they
the other
have
families."
just as much sugar, madam. They have literally just as much sugar. I don't know.
But there's nature's sugar.
What do you get when you gobble down sweets, Brian? That is an appropriate now one. I'll give you that. But you would cut if I brought you. Well, if I know a Milky Way is going to last you a week,
Last me a week.
you're getting a Milky Way next week.
Oh,
on the
boy.
podcast.
I'm gonna put it in the fridge.
I'm gonna get you a king size in the fridge. Oh, you eat them cold?
Yeah, man. Ooh, yum yum.
Certain candy bars are better cold.
Yes, and Milky Way is one of them.
No, I disagree. The nougat gets crunchy and weird. No, Milky Way is only as a soft bar. Snickers, sometimes I will. Dude. How have you not lost teeth?
Molars.
Because they're tingling the whole time. You can't catch them.
That's right.
I get it. All right. Well, this has been a
They're
roll
able
for
to
convo.
they vibrate, Jay, with the Speed Force.
This has been everyone's favorite favorite segment of the show. Roll for convo.
That's your favorite segment.
Not anymore.
What? Oh my God. We're breaking new ground. Oh my
What do
God.
you get when you gobble down sweets? I want to get Brian on the horn right now and be like, "How
And yell at
dare
him?
you? How dare you, sir? How dare you?" All right. Well, Miss Marvel, huh? What?
You're so disappointed in me. I can feel it.
No, not at all.
I feel a little disappointment.
No, you just are. I will. You did say. You looked me in the face and you said, "I actually like candy," and then you told me the absolutely most buck wild way of eating candy. You just set yourself up to. I was excited because Lashy, I can't. What frustrates me about our friendship sometimes,
Yes.
is that look. We all know my energy and my vibe. I'm late a lot. But I usually make up for my lateness by bringing treats and snacks.
Sure.
It's or like when you've had like a long day editing and I'm like coming over to shoot something afterwards and I'm like, you've been working hard all day. I want, as your friend, to like bring you something nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like that we can ingest to get like I would relish in the idea of like bringing you a nice bottle of whiskey after you've like finished something cool and be like we can drink it together and like be buddies, but you have no time for that. Like I can't even bring you a donut from the donut shop from Dunkin' Donuts. Like you're not into that. And I got excited because I thought like, ooh, maybe he's gonna have something. He's gonna tell me something that I could bring him, and he'd be like, ooh la la.
A fun size.
You give me no
Mickey
ooh
Wa-
la la's, Lashy. You give me no ooh la la's. I want to give you an ooh la la, and you don't want it. What would make you go ooh la la?
I don't know, Jay. I don't think I've ever ooh la la in a very long time.
Well, this is the first time for everything. I'll figure out a new la la. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you like giving people ooh la las?
No.
Like when you're like, oh, I brought you this. Like, ooh la la. You know? It's the best. That's the best feeling. It's like when Kimberly comes home from the bodega and she gets me a Diet Coke and I'm like, ooh la la. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's not how I work.
Yeah. Like whenever I would get walking home, like whenever I would always stop at the bodega and get myself a little treat and Kimberly a little treat. Like when I was coming home from work late or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kimberly started going to the bodega on her way home. And one time she went and she's like, oh, I got myself some stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And
And she was like, are you offended I didn't get you anything? I was like, when was the last time I didn't get you anything?
Ooh.
She was like, oh. I was like, yeah.
Yep. Turn around, go outside. Yep.
She tried to. I didn't let her.
Oh.
No. It's like, I always get you a little treat. It's also as a way of masking my guilty of getting a little treat for myself. We got a treat, you know. Now we wonder why I'm struggling to lose weight. Just want some ooh la las in my life. All right, that actually has been roll for convo. Ooh la la.
We're moving on.
Miss Marvel. What?
That was fun.
Was it?
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm trying to be comedically mean to you, not mean. Does that make any sense?
I in no way feel like you were being mean.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good.
Miss Marvel.
Before we get into Miss Marvel, if for those of you who have not seen Miss Marvel, we should
don't remember it. It's been a while.
We should probably get into our everyone's favorite segment, the most favorite of all segments, especially now that Roll for Convo has completely fallen off the side of the earth. It's plot drop, baby. Plot drop. Where I'm going to, as quickly as possible, tell you the entire plot of the Miss Marvel show. Now, Miss Marvel is a young girl named Kamala, and she is growing up in Jersey City, and she has very strict parents and a cool scientist best friend, and she really wants to go to AvengerCon.
Mm-hmm.
And she is working out on a costume for the costume contest at AvengerCon, and she's going to be her favorite of all of the Marvel superheroes. She's going to be Mrs. Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yes, indeed. She's excited. She's built a cool costume, and she needs some more pieces in order to get it work, and her scientist buddy helps her out. Upon going through some old things that her grandmother has sent over, she finds a cool bangle and decides to include it in her costume. Her parents do not want her going to AvengersCon. It's AvengerCon, right?
It's AvengerCon.
They don't want her going, and then eventually relent, allowing her to go dressed up with her dad, who's dressed up as the Hulk. And she makes her parents very sad by not wanting to go with her dad.
That's one of the best scenes, though.
Sad Hulk dad.
He's trying so hard.
He's hard. He's a really great guy, and he really just wants to connect with his daughter, but it's not going great. And also, it's because his wife and his daughter don't have a great relationship, and they're trying to remedy it.
Because she and her mom don't have a great relationship.
Yes, exactly. So Kamala sneaks out to AvengerCon, and upon sneaking out to AvengerCon, she realizes that the bangle she is wearing is giving her powers. It's not quite stretchy powers. It's more it's
hard light powers.
Hard light constructs,
yeah.
Which I'm not sure how I feel about that change, but regardless, it's fine. Let's lean into it. She decides to start using the bangle and fighting crime. She gets the attention of the government, and they start trying to investigate who she is. Damage control. Thank you. Mm-hmm. She also gets the attention of a mysterious group called the Jinn, and they are come to find out from another dimension. And she meets a young hot boy who also happens to be a Jinn. And they try to convince her that she has the power of the bangle, and the bangle can allow these Jinn to go back to their interdimensional home world, and they need her help. turns out the Jinn are bad.
Bad guy.
Oh, they're so bad, and they're actually going to use her power in order to fuse the two dimensions together or invade this one.
Yeah,
it's not
opening
totally
the door
clear.
would pretty much destroy us. So.
Yeah, opening the doorway, because you can't go back apparently.
Nope.
And eventually, they home alone, or she goes to, it's Pakistan, right?
Mm-hmm.
She
goes back to Karachi. Yeah.
She goes back to Pakistan with her mom, in order to connect with her grandmother, and we find out some of the history of her family and where the bangle came from,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically her grandmother and her mom remedy their situation, therefore pseudo remedying her relationship with her mother. And after an issue with damage control and the Jinn in Jersey City and a home aloning of the school, it becomes clear that Kamala is the new Miss Marvel, and her family finds out about her powers, and they embrace her and they love her. And there's some other stuff in there, but that's the gist.
Yeah.
What's that face?
I'm just following along.
All right, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was great.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. That's been Plot Drop.
Plot
That's
Drop!
Miss Marvel, everybody.
What?
I don't know, man.
I got your back, bud.
I appreciate you. I really do.
Thanks.
I love you so much.
You know what I would love?
What would you love?
Kicking it over to Brian.
Kicking it over to Brian. Heck yeah.
Our absolute favorite, favorite segment.
I'm actually gonna have to edit this one, huh?
The most favorite of segments.
Yeah.
Just ask Jay.
So that's been Plot Drop. That's fun. But before we hop into Miss Marvel, we can kick it to our producer Brian, who writes, who really betrayed me with his question today, and everyone's absolutely favorite segment when Brian rolls that beautiful bean fun fact footage. Tell us a little bit about Miss Marvel, Brian.
Gentlemen, I have no regrets for that being the question for a number one dice roll. Also, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the best. However, I do know a lot of people who love peanut butter and chocolate together, but don't enjoy them because the peanut butter feels way too processed. Anyway, today we're going to fix 2022's Season 1 of Miss Marvel. Created by Bisha K. Ali and starring Aman Vellani as Miss Marvel, it started airing on June 8th of 2022 and consists of 6 episodes. Here are some fun bean facts for Miss Marvel. As a reminder, it's a part of Phase 4 and sets up the Marvels. Her powers were changed a bit from the comics for the show, as well as her origin. Reactions to both of these things have varied among reviewers and fans. Episode 1 was review bombed on IMDb to hold 1 star. And if you care, this has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Anyway, back to you, gentlemen.
That was a little bit.
That's a little bit. That's a little bit.
Good job, Brian.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel was a great show. Everything about Kamala was great.
Yep.
Her family, great. Her brother's wedding, fun.
Yeah.
Her being a mutant, awesome. Having the stinger at the end, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Great. Leading into the movie, awesome. Can't wait.
But no, I was talking about the little.
Oh, yeah.
Little guitar riff. Kamala, you're a mutant. That's it. It was like,
I don't know. I felt making her the first mutant in the MCU was kind of a bummer, but
man, she was supposed to be a mutant in the comics.
she was supposed to be a mutant.
Yes, the plan was at the beginning she was supposed to be a mutant, but because I think like there were reasons behind the scenes that they couldn't have her be a mutant, so they're like, oh, okay, the best next best thing, Inhuman, great, whatever. Doesn't really change anything. They're basically the same things.
I don't know. I liked Inhuman. I thought it was kind of it was a refreshing. Like, it was refreshing to kind of like revamp what was going on with the Inhumans, because they haven't really, that hasn't seen a breath of fresh air in quite a while.
It has not,
and maybe for good reason.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably for good reason. The problem with Miss Marvel is that, as with most things, you know, these movies and shows are only as good as their bad guys.
And their bad guy was bad.
And their bad guy was terrible. The Jinn / the clandestines who were made up, as far as I'm aware, looking at Wikipedia, they were created for the show. They're just...
And I think you have, when you're doing such a thing, that's totally fine, conceptually.
Sure.
But I think you need to take a bigger swing than just like a bunch of just random people who happen to like be good at karate. Like that's kind of was the whole vibe, because I was like, cool, what makes them different from anybody else? Oh, nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm out. Then I don't really care. And for me, if you're setting up this creates the cardinal rule of it's like it's an anti-Wakanda move. In that you set up this cool new place, and then we don't get to see it.
Okay, we don't get to explore it as much as we want to.
Nope. It was like there was one shot of what it could possibly look like, and it was just like rainbow shapes in a rainbow world, and it didn't make any sense.
Nope.
And I didn't like it.
No.
I was like, okay, so there's another dimension. What does that mean? Oh, well, we're trying to go back there, but we can't. Okay. Cool, man. So it's just Brigadoon. It just doesn't. We're never gonna see. Awesome.
We don't really know. We're never the whole that whole storyline is just kind of like she gets back from her trip to the past, completing the time loop, and then she's Talk no Jitsu's the bad lady from like, hey, don't go, it'll kill you. So she then kills herself to close the rift.
Yeah.
And sends her powers to her son, which then just like, okay, now we're in the last episode. Okay. I mean, the show, the antagonistic force of the show really was just being a teenager,
Yes.
dealing with your parents.
Yes. All of that stuff was very good.
It was
all the
great.
stuff at the mosque was really like.
Nakia was a great character.
I was really invested in her winning the election.
Yes.
I was really invested in that.
And I think we just saw the results. I don't think that
No, not really.
She was campaigning.
There was some stuff here
she was
and there.
campaigning. We're meeting to the Illuminantes, which is like all the art on the show, all the cute things they were doing with the cameras and animating things she was saying in the background, like all this stuff. The direction was amazing. Like, there was some like cool they had like had focused on her for one moment and then they cut the screen in half. It was all really, really well done. Because it kind of felt like a little Scott Pilgrim-y.
Yes.
In live action. It's like, oh, this is great. Well, Scott Pilgrim wasn't live action. Anyways, but like, yeah, this is all cool. And then like, but what are we fighting? What's the bad guy? What are we dealing with? She's got powers, so like, what's she up against?
Yeah.
It's like world killing. Like, okay, I think that scope's a little too big.
Yes.
This is like,
for just
first
a regular
outing.
television show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When her personal life is so much more interesting.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not here to say that every superhero story has to, like, not every superhero story has to have a bad guy. I feel like there was so much going on here that was good that they could have just expanded on what was good instead of like giving us kind of a half. Because also frustrating, it's like there's another dimension out there. Okay, how does that fit into everything else that we're doing here? Does it at all?
Not really.
If it doesn't, then honestly, just make like the general conceit of this her trying to relate to her mom and vice versa.
Yeah.
That's enough.
There were enough personal stakes that the world-ending stuff from these made-up bad guys the antagonist didn't mesh in with the overall story.
Yeah. It
was like two parallel tracks going on, even though they kind of like, when she went back in time, learned the history of the bangle and how like her great grandmother was part of these jinn, and then she got the thing and turned on her friends, and then had her daughter, and the whole thing too. But it still didn't it still didn't feel connected with what was going on in Kamala's life. And it was frustrating because it was just her friends and her family were just so
now that
fun.
We're talking through it, part of me is like, oh, maybe I mean, I have my fix ready to go, but part of me is like, oh, my fix should have just been there's no real like supervillain. It's just a girl trying to figure out how to grow into powers and also like be a good friend and a good kid.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I think that could have worked.
Yeah.
I think you could have
strictly because she's so good. It's impossible not to root for her.
Yes.
Like when people are like, "Oh, she's I don't like Miss Marvel." I'm like, "That's not true."
That's not
I was like,
true.
"You may not have liked your show, but you like Miss Marvel."
Yeah.
she's adorable.
Aman Vellani.
Yeah, she's
Beautiful name.
She's the
just
cutest, tootiest. Like,
she's the future of the MCU.
yeah, man.
Like, can we please have more of? Like, I know she's gonna
Yep.
be in the movie that's coming out at some point in the future. I don't know, whatever that movie that is. But like, I can't wait to see more of her in this universe because she's us.
Yeah.
Both in the show, she's an Avenger fangirl, but also in real life, she's also a Marvel fangirl who loves the MCU and was able to cross over and actually be in it.
Yeah.
Because she was super talented and able to land the part. So, like, yes, please. She's our surrogate. She's the one who's in the... Yes.
Yeah.
She loves this stuff as much as we do. This is great.
Yeah.
It just seems like... with Marvel Television, I know they're revamping everything now and trying to figure out what the next best move is because like things apparently didn't quite work out the way they wanted them to. But like this kind of felt like this needed to be a little bit more, in hindsight, obviously, a little bit more like She-Hulk,
Yeah.
where She-Hulk didn't really, it had a through line, but it was, the stakes were way, way less. It was just Jen dealing with stuff.
Well,
and
She-Hulk was trying to be more comic book accurate than anything. Like
Sure.
it wasn't even really trying to I don't think it was even really trying to make that big of a mark on the actual MCU, really. Like it was trying to I think She-Hulk built another room onto the house. And
Oh, sure,
that's
absolutely,
like
yeah.
kind of a rec room. It's like, hey, we can have fun in this world without everything being so damn important the whole
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everyone can come in here at some point. Yeah, we're gonna have Abomination. Ha ha.
Isn't this fun? Isn't
Yeah.
this silly?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Miss Marvel could have just, could have been, or would have been served by not having such high stakes.
Yeah. And I'm okay with them completely changing her power set. I think it works.
Sure.
Because if we've learned anything, and I don't know how they're gonna remedy this in the new movie, but the way stretching powers translates to TV and movies is never great. It doesn't work. The closest they got was with the newest Fantastic Four movie. It almost got there.
I will jump over that with One Piece. One
Oh,
Piece,
I still haven't seen
Luffy, the main character, he has stretchy powers.
Yeah.
And it looked way better.
Well, yeah, because but also they have a pretty overt cartoony vibe of that show. It's not hyper realistic, is it not?
They do, though. They do really thread that needle of this is kind of a little bit of a cartoon, but also like it's it's got that weight of reality to it. They did a really good job with it. Like when Mr. Fantastic showed up in Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah.
and for that one scene where he stretched a little bit and then got spaghetti-fied.
Yeah. Just turn that dude into spaghetti.
They probably just copy and pasted that over to
Yeah.
To our best time, bud. That looked okay, but everyone's on the same page of like, yeah, stretchy powers is not. We haven't figured that out yet because they've tried. They had that elongated man on the Flash. They didn't. It was better.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work, but apparently it's just for now though. Apparently she will eventually get her actual power set.
Really?
May lead towards it. Because we don't know.
Okay.
Because we don't know what the bangle is. The bangle is a new thing,
Yeah.
so we don't
And
know.
they don't do enough. They honestly don't explain it enough.
The bangle was found in a temple with hieroglyphs, and like we also saw somebody with, like a detached blue arm under rubble.
Yeah.
So like we're not sure what that bangle is connected to yet. Also, they didn't find, the second bangle wasn't there.
That's right.
So,
what
like-
happens when you get both bangles? That's right.
And what are the bangles?
Forgot about that part.
Yeah, we still don't know what's going on with that bangle. Clearly, they have a plan for the bangle and the bangles.
In order to prepare for this episode, I didn't really watch the show. I watched our reactions to it
Oh,
at 2 times speed.
thanks for the views.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, this show I like the show, but when it focused in on the family stuff and the friend stuff and
Yeah.
the school stuff,
Uh-huh.
awesome. When it started diverging into the Jin and then damage control stuff was fun, but just it was tainted by the Jin's storyline.
Her life felt so well lived in, but the given circumstances of the superhero stuff did not at all. That's really the lopsided.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
Like it was just like, oh, yeah, because we even, as I was watching the reactions, we even say that quite a bit. Like, hey, I want to know who. Can we go back to the mosque? I want to know what's going on. I'm more interested in what's going on there than I am anything else.
Yeah, Nakia kicks ass.
Yes.
Can we hang out with her more?
Yeah, I'm way more interested in that whole situation than I am anything else.
Yeah.
Like Jersey City's great. That kid, what was it? Pizza ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Rampart was one of the Illuminatis. Like, there's like they were building out such a world.
Oh, yeah.
For her, just a personal life. I was like, yo, these people are awesome. I just want to.
I almost think you could have done you could have done a whole show with her just trying to like come to grips with her. You could have ended this. Now I'm realizing this should have been my fix. My fix is fun though. That you could have done an entire season of her coming of age, figuring out she has powers, trying to relate to her mom, healing her mom's relationship with her own grandmother and herself, while also still trying to on the slide date a boy, and then at the very end of the show realizing that the boy is part of the bad guys that if she's been kind of like figuring out about the whole as she's been investigating her bracelet. That could have been a perfect season 1 finale.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We just need a little bit more action.
Yeah. Sometimes I like, you never want a show to swing too hard for a second season.
Yes.
Because I feel like
Especially
I feel like
nowadays.
Wheel of Time did that.
Yes.
They swung for they shot season 1 knowing they had a season 2 in a way that it kind of made me upset.
Yes.
You don't want them to swing that hard, but sometimes it's like you could swing a little harder for a season 2.
Sure.
Because they're like, especially with the Marvel shows, they're like, well, this is kind of self-contained, and I'm like, no, we would watch more if you would just build to more. I don't think they're building that hard.
I think that's what their plan is now when they're revamping stuff.
I hope so, because I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be one of those people that's like that rags on like Marvel television, because I think
I've enjoyed
honestly all of our nitpicking aside, like I've enjoyed the majority of what I've watched on Disney.
Oh yeah, the nitpicking is because we love it so much.
Yes.
Yeah, we really
it's
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like we've gotten into like a place talking about the show that I should remind everyone that it's like, hey, like we actually liked the show.
Oh,
like we do.
just a reminder. Yeah, this we love. Yeah, I enjoyed the show. I enjoy her very much. She's a breath of fresh air.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
we've gotten
sometimes we have to be like, this is all in good fun.
Yes. This is the supportive.
Like this is a good natured show. Damn it.
Yeah. We want more of it.
Yeah. I would like more of this, but
whenever,
I think we're getting her in a movie.
Yeah,
so
whenever that movie comes out, I know her family is in it. So
I just
like,
want to know. I just kind of like. I love the idea. We never got to see like her dad being like, "Oh, so you going adventuring today? Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
like him showing up, being like, "Yay!"
Yeah,
like Dad, go get out of here.
We had that really nice talk in the last episode when she, your Kamala means marvelous.
Yeah,
or something to that effect. Like, so you should be.
Yeah, that was a sweet moment.
Yeah, because her parents are awesome.
Yeah,
her family is awesome.
Her brother's cool.
Her brother's cool.
Her best friend's cool.
Yeah.
We're not sure what's going on with him.
He went to college. He's like he remember because he really liked her and like that makes sense, but like she did not view him that way. And we're like, Bruno, you got to go to, I think it was Caltech. I believe it was like
Caltech.
Go to Caltech, dude. You got to go. Go. Dude, you got to go.
Get out of there,
You got to get out of here. You just got to go, man. It's all right. You'll come back after college. Just you got to go.
Gotta go.
And he did. He went off to college. So good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah. I hope you know what? People are still kind of. I feel like people are getting down on Marvel right now because of things outside of their control.
Yeah,
and some things in this, some story things they decided.
But also, they came out with that article saying that they're restructuring how they're doing their shows and stuff. And I feel like people use that as an opportunity to kind of dogpile in a way I'm not loving.
Yeah. Well, when you self-admit, like, okay, maybe we need to change a little bit. It's like,
people go,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
hey,
man,
hey, no,
this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Don't spit in their eye for them. They're trying to fix their mistakes.
Still a lot of wonderful things out there.
Yeah, man.
So,
Moon Knight was awesome. Shut up.
Moon Knight was awesome. There's a lot of really cool, I can't wait to see Shang-Chi again. I can't wait to see Kamala again. I can't wait to see Iris. Or no, I'm sorry. What was her name?
Not seen
from Moon Knight?
Shang-Chi since is so stupid.
So
it's
like
so stupid.
The young stars of Phase 4 of a lot of.
I just feel like they've been putting Wong in everything, and I'm like, I'm a little Wonged out.
Are you Wonged out?
I'm 1,000% Wonged out.
Dude, more Wong, please.
I like Wong. Don't get me wrong, but there was. It actually goes into a large amount of my fix.
Really?
And I'm actually using my fix to kind of connect Phase 4 a little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I might be too.
Interesting. I think we've landed right in the fix area. So I mean, you're fixing first. So
I am fixing first.
come at me, bro. I mean, I think we're here, right?
We are here. The fix of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Season 1?
Hit me.
The fifth season? Okay, so basically, as we've just been talking about for 20 minutes, the show is great. All of our personal stuff, amazing.
Yeah.
My fix is clandestines are gone.
Okay.
No Jin. That is all gone.
Oh, all
My
right.
focus is I kept it a show. We're doing 6 episodes.
Great.
I kept 85% of it. I'm just changing some of the context of the antagonistic force that's going on, that she's got to deal with as Miss Marvel.
All right, I can dig it. Let's party.
So here we go. Also, I had to do a decent amount of research of finding who Miss Marvel dealt with as in the comics, because oh wait a second, there's a couple really lower level people. We're keeping this in Jersey City. This is her first outing as it's her origin tale.
Yeah.
I got powers. What do I do with them? Oh no, something popped up. I got to deal with it. Oh boy, so many adventures. Oh wait, we just got to keep this. The world-ending stuff comes later. This is we're focused on my family life, and just Jersey City.
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 1, it's exactly the same in every way.
Oh, okay.
I don't change a thing about episode 1.
Gotcha.
I mean, I do change one. I add one addition.
Liar.
Two additions.
Okay, here we go. All right, it's a slippery slope.
Shut your mouth. When they're at AvengerCon,
Yeah.
Zoe, the attractive girl that was
The influencer girl?
yes.
Yes.
We meet Zoe's boyfriend Josh there as well.
Josh?
Yes.
Oh, man.
He's from the comics.
Oh, cool.
And we see him.
Comic book Josh.
He is supporting Zoe. Maybe he can be helping her film stuff because he's an influencer boyfriend.
Yeah, man.
But he is not in costume. He's not cosplaying. We see him with the shirt that kind of has a superhero in universe meme shirt.
Yeah, man. Does he have his his stereotypical Josh powers, like invulnerability and heat bullets from his fingers?
No,
Good old Josh.
Josh is.
He's just Josh.
It's just Josh.
All right, keep going.
He's just Josh. Everything.
I
happens,
was just joshing you.
I don't want to do this anymore. Can we be done?
You're telling me, man.
So Kamala gets the powers. Bangle pops on the bangle, falls to the floor real quick. It's oh my god, heart rate abilities. Everything goes crazy. We just see Josh a little bit more involved in trying to save Zoe from all the
Love Josh.
from all the wacky hijinks.
Oh, man. That Josh just doing Josh stuff.
Great.
So
at the end of the episode, when the damage control agents get that cell phone footage,
they're like, Josh, what are we gonna do with Josh?
How did you know?
Well, you build it up. I'm just trying to help you.
I'm just adding Josh into the story because
I love
everyone else is there. This is a new character.
Man.
Well, he's from the comics. Just Josh is there.
I love it. I'm so excited.
But there's a message attached to that cell phone footage.
Oh.
It says, "I found one."
His name is Josh.
His name is Josh. All right, episode 2. Episode 2.
The Joshening.
Episode 2. Back in the habit. Episode 2 is exactly the same. They go to a party.
Except there's more Josh.
There's more Joshes there. Josh is at that party. It's at Zoe's house.
Only adding 2 things. 2 more Joshes.
There's just an extra Josh every episode. All right. So they go to that party at Zoe's house. Josh is there.
Yeah.
He's the boyfriend. But we meet Cameron, and we also meet Kareem. Kareem's the guy who she met in Karachi in the original version of the show.
Yeah.
The guy with the
Yes.
from the Red Daggers. He's an exchange
The
student.
2-man organization.
Yeah, which is yes.
Man, if anything, could have used more Joshes.
Yes.
So,
it was
so
the
Red Daggers.
Yeah. So Damage Control is hunting for the young woman who was at AvengerCon. Remember how they started going to the different the different communities?
Yeah.
And they went to the mosque and everyone's like, "Whoa, this is an art." No, And we kind of like, no, this is not how you do you have a warrant? Like, this is, you don't just come in here and demand us to like tell you everyone who comes to this mosque.
Yeah.
That's not how we do this. So we're seeing damage control, like they're going to be a little bit more pushy than they were in the original version of the story. But Kamran's there, Kareem is there, and while they're at that mosque, this is when the kid falls off the balcony.
Yes.
And Kamala goes up to save him, and she kind of saves him. Remember, she kind of like, they kind of fell, and the kid broke his leg.
Yeah, but he didn't die.
He did not die. She saved him, mostly. He broke his leg. But after she takes off, because everyone's like, oh, the nightlight girl, because everyone's trying to figure out what her name is, and she's intercepted. And now in the original show, she gets chased by damage control.
That's right.
And is picked up by Cameron. In this version of the events, when she takes off, she gets intercepted by somebody in armor called Discord, and they fight. And Discord is a comic book character.
And also, one of the main ways that our community communicates with each other.
Yeah, so if you haven't joined the
If you
Discord,
haven't joined the Discord, go ahead.
Please do. It'd be great.
Discord.gg/previewed.
So since Kamala, is only brand new to her powers, she's not trained. This guy clearly is. She barely escapes, and that's when we see Cameron appear. He also uses some powers.
Oh,
He has
okay.
powers in the comics, because he was in the comics. He's also Inhuman. We're just gonna go with basically a spider.
What are his powers?
Bioluminescent. It's like biokinetic energy. A lot of bioluminescent stuff.
Biokinetic.
Yes, biokinetic.
Okay.
So basically, we're gonna just kind of do it's like a Spider-Man thing, like a science experiment when I was a kid, blah 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 blah. Just something. It doesn't matter. He just has to have the powers.
Yeah, man. I just did some whippets, and it turned out it was a Terrigan Mist.
Oops! Biokinetic energy. Yeah. So Cameron shows up and is able to help Kamala get away. So great. Okay, who's this Discord guy? We don't know. What's going on? I don't know.
Oh man, it's probably Josh. It's probably Josh, right?
No.
It better be Josh.
It's not. Sorry, but it's not Josh.
Well, then what's Josh doing here?
He's just in the show because he's in the comics.
Okay.
So episode 3.
Sure he's not Discord?
I wrote this, Jay. I'm pretty sure he's on Discord. So episode 3, Cameron describes the powers to Kamala as they're on the run from damage control.
Uh-huh.
And they only have a moment of safety because they find a place to hide. They kind of talk a little bit. But then the Red Dagger shows up.
Okay.
And it's Kareem, as we know him from the episode. He was in episode 4 in the show, but now he's already here. So he's fighting, and we hear his side of the story of just like he's like an anti-hero type of protecting his community here in Jersey City.
Yeah.
And these guys are causing a problem for the community, especially because this Nightlight person is like, hey, you brought damage control down on everybody here.
Yeah.
And they're causing a mess, and they're making us feel unsafe. So like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So now we have got a little bit of a 3-way fight, but then everyone eventually just kind of breaks away from each other. So it's a little fight scene between teenagers, and then Kamala has the wedding. That's the wedding episode.
Okay.
So they go at the wedding, everything's great and happy, but meanwhile, while the wedding is going on, Cameron is abusing his powers just a little bit for a little light B&E to kind of help his family out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they just need a little help.
Yeah, man.
But Red Dagger finds him, and this is, a couple days later, and so they fight, and that fight is being watched by Discord.
Oh.
The fight between,
Josh, right?
no,
Okay.
it's not Josh, Jay.
You sure?
Yes, it's not Josh, Jay.
Okay.
So the fight between Cameron and Red Dagger kind of spills. It gets to the event space where the wedding is taking place.
Just joshing and sloshing. It's
not,
getting everywhere.
It's not okay. So Discord joins the fight and it busts into the wedding, and then Damage Control comes in trying to find Cameron and the Red Dagger, and they are trying to blend into the wedding. And so Damage Control is like being very heavy-handed in interrupting Kamala's brother's wedding.
Sure.
So it kind of leads to a brawl at the wedding.
Yeah.
That's what it did in the thing, but now it's like, no, we're actually like, we're gonna fight.
No, we're really doing this.
We're really doing this.
Yeah.
They're fighting this guy Discord. They're kind of fighting back. Damage Control is like, hey, what are you doing? You are overstepping your authority here. You're interrupting this wedding. You're putting people in harm's way.
Yeah, man.
Trying to get to these kids.
This is a cool wedding. We spent a lot of money on it.
We did dancing.
We
It
got
was
Josh
fantastic.
to DJ. You know how much he costs? He's a good DJ.
So at the end of the episode, oh, by the way, the name of the lady who was in charge of this, because remember that was the lady, damage control agent who was kind of like the person who was like rah, 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 where the guy was like, hey, maybe we should.
What's her name?
Her name is Agent
Josh?
Saint Jude. It's not Josh, Jay. It's Saint Jude, by the way.
Saint Jude.
Saint Jude.
Her name is Saint Jude.
Her last name is Saint Jude.
Oh, okay.
Becky St. Jude, but she goes
Becky
by
St. Jude. Okay.
her name is Agent St. Jude. But at the end of the fight, at the end of the episode, Discord hits the Bangle with an electrical attack, and it triggers the vision that that Kamala gets.
The visions of Josh.
It's not. It's the train, Jay. It's the train that happened from the show.
Checking.
Okay. And then at the end of the episode, Kamala
I'm
gets
pumping the brakes in this joke. Don't worry. I know I've overstayed my welcome with it.
You-
I'm keenly aware that I've overstayed. But we're gonna pump the brakes, and then we're gonna come back at the end
I know.
and really land it home.
I believe in you.
I know. I'm just.
Kamala gets a call from her grandmother, like that she also saw the train. Okay.
Can you hear my brain saying Josh?
I can, yeah. Wait, her
I said I
her,
pump the brakes. I said I pump it.
her grandmother Josh? No,
Yeah.
that's not her name.
I know. I didn't say it.
So Kamala,
I thought it really hard.
I know that you did. So this time, Kamala's grandmother comes to visit them in Jersey City. They don't go to Karachi
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
we just got to make this a little bit easier.
Yeah.
and
Let's
keep,
streamline this
and
a little.
keep everybody in Jersey City.
Yeah.
Because taking the story away from everybody in Jersey City, like they were not in those episodes basically at all, and I
Totally.
wanted to see them because their stories were interesting. So Kamala's grandmother comes from Karachi, and we get the story from the grandma, and we can see the tension in the house. So
Yeah.
it's that all that stuff from Karachi is basically just transported into Jersey City.
Okay.
At this point now, we are really kind of going out from where the story was in the show. Meanwhile, we can also have Kamala trying to get away from the stuff, the tension at the house. Like she's going with Nakia to like those the last little moments of her election for the leadership position at the mosque.
Yes.
So we'll actually we're gonna stay here and see
See how that works.
see how it works out.
That's cool.
Like I'm pretty sure we just got the results and we missed the lead up to it because the story moved over to Karachi.
1,000%.
So we're gonna stay here and we're gonna keep more in like what's going on.
Yeah.
So while that's all going on, Cameron and Kamala are hanging out more. So Bruno's still trying to figure, all the science stuff out. We get more high school tension because damage control is starting to patrol their school because they're still looking for these kids who have powers, and they're really not cool with that. They're trying to tamp down on underage heroes, as it were. So we see Zoe, Josh, Kamala, Bruno, Cameron, Nakia, and Kareem's perspectives on social media because they were doing a lot of stuff with the social media in the show.
Yeah.
And we're going to see more of that in this episode because the kids their school's been basically invaded by damage control.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to, out these kids. So the problem with Kamala is she's got these tensions at home between her mom and her grandmother.
But she's also hurting all of her friends at school because her actions are... Yeah, that's pretty...
So she's feels at fault that all this stuff's going on. So Nakia wins the election. Hooray! And at the celebration, she gets an emergency call from Cameron that he's being chased by Discord.
Okay.
So Kamala
Josh?
runs up.
Who's Josh, right? Discord's Josh?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
So Kamala runs off to help. Red Dagger also shows up, and the three of them attack Discord.
Okay.
Three-way fight. In a fit of rage, because Discord's not getting his ass kicked, he tries to break Kamala's bangle, just kind of sensing that could be the source of her abilities.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And in doing so, she's flung back in time.
Oh!
So in the first attack, in episode...
That's clever.
The previous one was it just got struck by, electricity,
Yeah.
causing the vision. This time, he's actually actively trying to break it,
Yeah.
and that causes a... Whoa! So, because I really wanted to keep Kamala going back in time to go to... what was it? The partition?
Yes.
Because it's a really important cultural event that those of us in the West, we didn't know about it.
We're not privy to it. It's
we
news to us.
It's new to us, and so it needs to be talked about more. It needs to be more because I learned about it through Doctor Who, which is
that's where I learned about it too.
I was like, "Are you? Wow, this happened? Oh my god, this is just yes." And they've been doing. Thankfully, people have been making more stories about alluding to things in history that we have not been taught. So I think I really wanted to keep it in here because it's important for us to learn about this kind of stuff.
I would agree.
And also just kind of keeping that time loop going and kind of because it's a nice, easy way of learning about Kamala's grandmother's history, There's no Jin or whatever, but I am keeping basically that her great grandmother, found the bangle in a temple right before partition happened, and was able to, gave it to her, and then had a daughter, and she unfortunately gets killed at the railway as everyone's trying to get out.
Yeah.
And Kamala is the one that saves her own grandmother thing with the stars. So like all that keeps all that. It's just tragic that her mom dies there at the railway. Her grandmother dies at the railway.
Yeah. Okay.
Just no Jin. She's just a normal person. So time loop ends. Kamala comes back after completing the time loop. And then, but with the attempt of breaking the bangle, it blows everybody back as Kamala comes back into time.
Yeah.
So basically, that ends the fight. So thankfully, with the break, now Kamala goes back and is able to talk to her grandmother and talk to her mom. And we have that big cathartic moment of like, hey, this is what's going on. And then her grandmother's like, but just kind of starts realizing, because she's able to tell her information about what happened in the past, and then it all clicks that, oh my God, it was you. And her mom's like, what are you talking about? And so everyone starts talking, and then we can have some moments of like, guys, I'm the nightlight, and like we can actually have the family like learn what's going on now.
Yeah.
And then we can have that, and Kamala's been kind of assembling the outfit the whole time as well. We loved that in the show.
Yes.
So that whole stuff has all been happening. It's very sweet. It's a great moment. But just as the family starts to bond, Damage Control Agent St. Jude has had enough of all of this stuff, because Discord reports back that like they're still out there and they're becoming organized, because like, of course, why not? So Agent St. Jude orders Jersey City to go on lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown, it was her comic book villain name.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who knows, like, oh my God, that's her. Oh, it's lockdown. Oh no, lockdown. She was from the Civil War II timeline.
Honestly, I didn't read any of the second Civil War.
Yeah, no, I don't think a lot of people did.
It
wasn't great. Okay, so episode 6 is gonna kind of a lot. It's going to be very similar to the original episode 6. Jersey City is on lockdown, and Agent St. Jude is basically, calling out Nightlight to give herself up, or else we're just going to, Damage Control is just locking Jersey City down until she does. Discord and St. Jude are like holding people of interest that come out of the school. And
like
so,
Josh.
Yeah, like Josh. Sure. So Kamala gets the gang together to go, because she's gonna try to talk to Agent St. Jude to be like, I'm gonna try talking, because what would Carol Danvers do?
Exactly. Yes,
I'm gonna go.
I love that.
I'm gonna do this.
Cool.
Also, meanwhile, these kids are being incarcerated, and like that's just wrong. We need to get them out of there.
Yeah.
So while Kamala tries the talking, her friends try to free everybody from the school. And we can do a little Home Alone infiltration style. Maybe some kids go through the vents or what have you. And so Kamala finally gets to St. Jude, who has a really good point of why she's doing this, because our villains have to not be terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So basically, Agent St. Jude's opinion on everything is that superheroes cause the end of the world.
Oh.
Their actions broke civilization. Yes, they did fix it, but look where we are now.
Yeah.
She will talk a little bit about
so much is not
not right.
Yeah.
The events of Winter Soldier, all the stuff that has happened, like, because yes, this it was kind of a pocket show, kind of just in Jersey City, and everything was fine, but like no, let's tie this in with everything else going on.
Yeah.
So like she's like, no, there needs to be accountability and some type of control over this.
Take control.
Because if there isn't, look what happened. We're lucky that everyone came back. Half the world was gone. For all we knew, they were dead.
Yeah.
So like, we can't just let you guys be running around here. You guys are kids.
No, yeah.
So Kamala, he's like, you know what? You are not wrong, but you are taking things too far. And then Kamala argues from, because she's the Avenger fangirl, like she's going to argue from like her perspective, like, yeah, but these are people who stepped up in times of crisis to help their communities. Like, where was the government when all this stuff was going on? So like, yes, they use their powers, but they use it for good. And is there a better way? Possibly.
Yeah.
But this is not it.
Hell yeah. So
we have an actual like, okay, this is cool. But the problem is that Discord At this point, nope. I don't want to talk about this. He just goes. He just starts going ham on Kamala, and they have a huge brawl in the school. And
Like a Josh Mosh.
Sure. Yep. Like a
'Cause it's
Josh.
Josh.
Like a Josh Mosh.
Right?
So eventually, we get to the point where Discord is really just beaten. Kind of like Luke being angry at Vader.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Just like full on emotions, like is beating her down because he's like just so.
Yeah.
And so Kamala's like, down, and finally, he rips her mask off, revealing that it's Kamala. And Discord loses it and takes his mask off. Turns out, it was Josh.
No! No way! Oh man!
All right,
What a shocker!
it's quite the twist.
Wow! That guy we saw in the first episode
Yeah, the
and
guy-
never again?
No, he was there the whole time.
Oh man! What a wacky turn of events!
I know.
I would have never seen it coming.
And yeah, no, because we shot it in such a way you wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, it's so clever,
It
man.
was clever.
Cool.
Josh is.
You know that? Oh, cool. That guy that didn't impact the story at all, except for when he was the bad guy.
well, Josh is actually a major comic book character. He was in issue 1 of Miss Marvel,
Okay.
but he does eventually go bad.
Yeah.
So this is a comic book arc. But I am tying this back into Endgame because seeing Kamala like breaks him because like we were supposed to be friends,
Yeah.
and seeing that what he goes a step further than St. Jude, and is like, oh, the reason why I'm so pissed at you in all of this is because you were probably one of the lucky ones that were gone during the snap.
Oh.
I was 11, and my parents were gone.
Okay.
Because it's been like 5 years plus 1, so like I'm thinking like Miss Marvel's
No,
about
yeah.
6 years after.
Heck yeah.
So like, I was here alone, and like he can just say like, hey, this is what happened, while as for with his parents gone, like you have no idea what it was like
Yeah.
to be here for those 5 years alone. We didn't have. You are so lucky you weren't here, and you're just acting like the Avengers are great people. Like,
yeah.
He's like, you have a point, but like also, but maybe seek counseling and maybe not get dressed up in powered armor.
Josh.
Because
Come on,
like,
man.
yeah. So
Joshua.
so they eventually, Kamala, like, you got to stop. This is not right. I mean, you have a point, but also, I'm so sorry, but you can't be doing this. So they fight. The fight starts up again, but this brawl kind of tumbles out of the school and into the community.
Yeah.
And damage control, much like they did in the show, starts to really overstep. They called in the tanks and stuff. And so
Yeah.
at this point, the community is already there because they know something's going on at the school. The community shows up, and they start to be in the line of fire because St. Jude and Discord is like, no, we're right. We need to stop this. And Kamala and Cameron are able to protect the community. And so then community steps up and protects Kamala in that big Go Spidey moment, which was
Absolutely.
awesome at the going And so then the other, going to have that male damage control agent come in and be like, you are stepping over your bounds, Agent St. Jude.
Yeah.
We're putting an end to this right now. You're all over the news. This is giving damage. This is not what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, this is not good.
That's not what we do. This is beyond. Stop. She gets arrested. Discord goes to the wind. And the day is saved. Everyone's happy. Yay! And she's like, I'm gonna be Miss Marvel. They have it. The dad can talk. Like,
Yeah.
It was so good. I don't think Nightlight's not a great name.
Hell yeah.
Your name means marvelous. So Miss Marvel. It's really nice.
That was a fun little moment.
So here's a mid-credit scene. The after credit scene is the same, right? Carol bamps in.
Yeah.
That's the same. We have a mid-credit scene, and I think this is the part you're gonna really like. Agent St. Jude is now in a jail cell or something like that, and we see somebody come in from Roxxon, like a Roxxon
Oh.
lawyer.
Is it Josh?
No, it's not Josh.
Okay, just checking.
It's not Josh.
Just wondering.
He did in the intervening days. He did not have a chance to go to law school
Gotcha.
and then get a job as a lawyer.
You never know.
I mean, it's Josh.
It's tricky.
He's
He's tricky. He's a crafty one.
But this lawyer offers St. Jude the opportunity to lead their new program called Cradle.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
Vaguely.
So I think it was in around the time of like Civil War II. It was basically just like trying to police underage heroes.
Oh, okay.
And so my plan would be that, and it was Roxanne kind of backing this organization.
Gotcha.
That this would be the organization or the antagonistic force against what would eventually become the Young Avengers.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the beginning of the connective tissue. Well, I guess they've already started to do it with some of the other shows, but
Yes.
like this is going to be the thing
that
that
actually
brings
connects
our
them.
young heroes together.
Yep.
Because they realize, wait a second, and they're like, wait,
Yeah.
hey, maybe we should be.
It's buck wild that they haven't brought it up yet. It's also in my fix as well.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, it's absolutely buck wild.
So that's the full fix.
That's great, man. That's great.
Thanks.
And you got Josh in there?
I
Oh
know.
man.
You never saw it
What a
coming.
time to be alive.
Josh was the bad guy the whole time.
The minute you said it, I was like, well, he's the bad guy.
He was in the comics. And he
Oh, I
wasn't- he
forgot.
wasn't-
Josh is there. Oh, okay, cool, man. The bad guy? You mean the bad guy? Great.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jay.
It was so obvious. Okay.
Well, yeah, because he was not in the show, and he's in the books.
Okay.
Then he was the bad guy.
Here's my fix.
Give me that fix, Jay.
I am not doing a Miss Marvel show.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Miss Marvel is a movie.
That makes way more sense,
Miss
Jay.
Marvel is a movie. We open up very similarly to the show. We come out of the same time frame that the show came out, but it would be a movie.
Sure.
Miss Marvel opens up, and we get a lot more exposition in her fun animated way,
Mm-hmm.
in her like artsy fartsy, like really fun comic booky way. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping like her family dynamic pretty much exactly the
Absolutely,
same,
yeah.
and we're keeping the circumstances of the show early on very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's her like assimilating into high school,
Mm-hmm.
and we're also seeing we are seeing her best friend Bruce. It was Bruce, right?
Bruno.
Bruno. There we go. Bruno, and they are getting really excited about AvengerCon. And we learn through AvengerCon what Kamala likes about like the Avengers, and like we'll get more of like why she thinks they're important, because I don't think we got it. She was more obsessed with the cosplay competition
Yes.
than she was about like really. Like, that's one thing that I think about, like, comic book wise, like, what makes Kamala interesting is that, like, there's some hero worship there, but she's also, like, no, like, she has a deep respect for the Avengers.
Yes.
Writ large.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's a fangirl for sure, but she also, like, really, like, there's a reverence to it rather than than just fangirling.
Yeah, she gets the whole with great power gets great responsibility.
Yes,
and
and
no
I
one
think-
needed to tell her that.
And I think we lost that a little bit in the show.
Yes.
A little bit. But as we're building up to AvengersCon, we have a very similar situation with her getting the bracelet from her mom. And eventually when she's also getting ready and she tries to, she has a fight with her mom about going to AvengerCon, and then she uses the stuff from her grandmother in order to build a Mrs. Marvel costume that will actually impress her mom.
Oh.
Like, I'm gonna be a Mrs. Marvel or a Captain Marvel that is like one of us and like identifies as us.
Yeah, and it's not like overtly sexual. It's not like a one piece.
But she doesn't totally nail it. Like, she still has like the blonde wig and stuff, and her mom's like, you don't fundamentally understand like where we've come from. Like, you grew up American. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like why you're idolizing like these are your heroes. Like, these aren't people like us. Like, I don't like
That's
why
great.
can't like why
Yes.
can't like your grandmother came over here, like why aren't you writing your school report on her rather than Carol Danvers, whom you've never met? And so we get that dynamic, and her mom is like, I'm not gonna let you go to event, like, you're not going to AvengersCon anyways, like, this didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we're still in Act 1. She sneaks out. The bangle. We get a very similar situation. Right. The bangle activates, and
hijinks ensue.
Yeah, hijinks ensue, and so very similar situation. We're kind of like transitioning into like tail end of Act 1 is that she as she's out fighting, like learning her powers and trying to fight crime, she runs into another powered kid just like her, Cameron, who I'm gonna steal your kinetic thing. That's great. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
His powers from the comic, so as well.
And then the end of Act 1, we realize that he's a transfer student at your school now. Oh, and he's so handsome.
He's so attractive.
Oh, he's
you see him get him out of that pool. Oh my god!
And so Act 2, we are seeing Kamala kind of putting everything into being a hero and trying to find her identity there. It is causing more of a divide between her parents, but also Bruno as well. And so she's Bruno eventually calls her out for like not being who she actually is, because he doesn't. He realizes. He knows this because she's Miss Marveling. Her parents think she's spending too much time with this boy.
Oh.
Because she's out and she is doing we're getting all of her montage, which in the initially was with Bruno, is now is with Cameron.
Oh, and Bruno wants to be the guy helping her out.
Yeah. And so there's divisiveness there,
Sure.
and then also we learned that I actually like I am stealing her grandma comes to visit them.
Yes,
because
it's just neater.
It keeps it cleaner.
Yes.
As we get as we're moving through Act 2, we see like that Cameron is he knows more about the bracelet than he's leading on.
Oh.
And he kind of comes clean to her that he is from another dimension. There are other beings like him. Like they've been kind of traveling around, and they finally found the signature of this bracelet, and like lets her know like this bracelet like has the ability to this bracelet has the ability to send him home. We'll just need like a sufficient amount of power. And she's like, absolutely, I can help you go home. No problem. So they get everything set up like in a warehouse in Jersey City or something. Like they get everything set up, and Bruno has been like he like reluctantly like helps her and Cameron, and as he's like getting everything set up, this is when her mom and grandmother have been tracking her phone and realizes she's somewhere weird, and they think she's out like Frenching with this boy. Then they're gonna go get her. They arrive at the warehouse right as like they're starting everything up, and Bruno is like seeing like all of the heat signatures and realizing this isn't gonna send him home. This is gonna this is going to send all of us there, and then Bruno's blown back, and just as Grandma and Mom are entering the warehouse, and Kamala, her mom, her grandmother, and Cameron are all sent into this new dimension, the clandestine dimension.
Oh no!
Yeah, we're actually gonna go there and do the thing.
Okay.
So they go there, and what we learn about like the transitioning into the new dimension is that like basically like through like the transition of this new dimension, we get like that's where we put the flashback sequence. Okay. And like that's where we like moving through this new dimension, it's like Kamala starts to see the past lives of of those who bore the bracelet, and like we learn a lot about like the backstory, but also like she connects with her history.
Yes.
And like understands like where she's from.
The thing her mom has been wanting her to do.
Yes. And so we're basically like we're moving into Act 3 here, and she realizes that now that they are back on this side, Cameron's like, great, we just need to set this up over here, and we can basically we will basically fuse this dimension into yours, and we will, like, by obliterating your dimension, ours can fully flourish.
Uh-oh.
And she's like, I don't know about that. She fights Cameron and a couple of other clandestines on the other side and starts to lose. Her mom and grandma are like hiding in the corner. It's not going great. Or they're taken away.
Mm-hmm.
They're taken hostage. And as Kamala is like trying to, Miss Marvel and win, eventually another like dimensional portal opens up, and Shang-Chi bursts through. I'm sorry. It is ridiculous.
Wait,
It is.
what?
Follow me here, and this is a big swing. This is a big swing, and this is me inputting what I think should be happening right now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because there is not enough tying up. It is ridiculous to me that we have two characters with magical bracelets who have to travel to different dimensions and are dealing with interdimensional situations, and they're
true.
not linked in at all. It's so stupid to me that it's never mentioned. So I am saying, like, I'm Tao Lung, is that what it's called in Shang-Chi?
Something very close to that. Yes.
It's a different dimension.
Yes, it is. The bracelets aren't.
So
the bracelets aren't
basically,
from there,
we are
but
setting.
yes.
Who's to say? Or who's to say? I mean, we're just jazzing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to say that these dimensions, the 10 rings, aren't clandestine?
Yeah, we don't know.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. We
Let's
don't
go with
know
that.
what's going on.
It was like, hey, like, we have been looking into like my own rings, and like whenever you started using yours, it activated something in mine, and I'm able to track you. So, and I'm able to travel to the clandestine dimension. Apparently, that's another fun thing that we learned out. So, hey, what's up? So Shang-Chi just and Miss Marvel absolutely wreck shop and roll out of the clandestine dimension together. They roll back out into the Avengers compound, and the people helping him are Bruce, like Hulk Bruce, and well, at this point it wouldn't be Hulk Bruce. Let's just say regular Bruce.
Sure.
And to tie in another of Phase 4, the engineer guy from Eternals. What was his name?
Oh, dude, I have no
idea. Faustus? That guy. He's the one that like basically like decoded like that clandestine dimension. It's like, yeah, like this dimension exists on a lot of different planets that we've been to. Sometimes they're able to do it, sometimes they're not, but they kind of want to take over the entire galaxy. So, oops. Shang-Chi is just like, hey, and she's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm an Avenger. She's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. No, I know the Avengers.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And he's like, I don't know if you've like been paying attention, but like a lot of them are either dead or they quit. Like, we're kind of starting a new Avengers thing. And she's like, oh, well, I got powers, like I can be an Avenger. And he's like, you're not really old enough. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, I just contact me. She's like, but like we do have we do have kind of like an internship program. But she's also freaking out because her mom and her grandma are still in the clandestine dimension. He's like, okay, like, let me get if I'm going to get some of your peers, this might be a fun training. This might be like a fun opportunity for
you to meet. Yeah.
For you to meet your new teammates if you want to join. And so we are getting Haley Steinfeld. We're getting the new Hawkeye.
Goddamn right.
We are getting the only other two that are there right now. We are getting, and this is another wild swing, we are getting Billy and Tommy. We are getting Wiccan and
you're going to have to explain how those two were there, Jay.
I'm just calling my shot and saying that they are there. Everything, all of the nonsense that Scarlet Witch got up to, they exist in our universe. What's the speeders? What's Tommy's name again? What's this character name?
Dude, I don't know anything about them.
Well, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, and Wiccan, at least for that, are going into the clandestine dimension. She saves her mom. They reunite, and she realizes she was like, yeah, like I understand my history now, and like I understand like how I can be like the best version of myself, but also like being true to who I am, and like but also true to who came before me. And she joins the Young Avengers, and we're setting it up, and we're doing this thing. And that's why Mrs. Marvel. It's so stupid. It's so Phase 4 is so disjointed. We need to include more. Like there was no overlap in any of these movies, and it really frustrated me.
Yeah.
Like it really bothered me. Even in like Phase 2, there was still a lot of overlap, and they weren't really that connected.
No, they weren't.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So Shang-Chi is kind of we're also setting him up that he is an Avenger now.
What about Wong?
What about Wong?
Oh, wait, where was Josh?
That is. I didn't include Josh.
How? I think I have to start again, bud.
I think I have to start again. You know what? As most episodes go, it's not about the fixes. It's about the Joshes we meet along the way. So that's my fix. That's a little bullet pointy, but like
Sure.
but that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason that the Young Avengers haven't even been mentioned yet.
Yeah.
They're so clearly leaning into it.
Mm-hmm.
They're so clearly like, huh? And I'm like, stop being coy. You're not coy.
What was it? What's the Captain America younger guy, the grandson of the,
The other son is named Tommy, right? It's Billy and Tommy,
yeah, I think so.
right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, make him be real. That's fine. Figure it out.
Okay.
It's more fun that way.
Sure.
I want a Scarlet Witch and a speeder on Young Avengers. Let's go.
Okay.
It's way cooler if they're like not technically real. That's a fun backstory.
Hi, we're not real.
You never really read Young Avengers, did you?
No, I haven't.
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
I did. Yeah, the Wiccan was like, "Oh, I'm a construct. That's weird." Yeah, because they like during
It was House of Vim. No.
no, that was during Avengers Disassembled.
Oh.
Have you read that book?
No.
But you read House of M.
I didn't.
Oh,
I just named it.
I see. I've completely lost my train of thought.
Young Avengers.
Yeah, Young Avengers. Let's do it. Let's party.
We need something here.
Yes. But all in all, I kind of liked Miss Marvel. I had a good time.
No, Ms.
I
Marvel
think-
was great.
I think it was like writ large. I think I don't think we were the target audience for it. I think it was for younger. It was for younger kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're 30-year-old white guys. Like it's not that show. The show is not 1,000% for us.
Sure.
Like I think it was for younger kids.
Makes sense. I mean, we still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I think some of the sins of it, I'm like, yeah. But if I was 15, I'd be like, that's fun.
Yeah, who really cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, world-ending stakes.
I was
Sure,
like,
why
oh,
not?
there is a Marvel character that's my age. Yeah, let's party. It's not some stuffy old white guy. Party.
Neat. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably could have been a movie.
Probably could have been a movie. Yeah, and if you just like leaned into more of like her art, the way she like looks at things
Yes.
from me, and especially when you have a character that can create, if you're going to make her powers hard light construction, and she is not going to use her artistic abilities in order to influence it,
Yeah.
I call bullshit on
Yeah,
that.
she needs to be able to Kyle Rayner it.
1,000%.
Yes.
I want her to see her. I want to see her bash a bunch of clandestine with a big gigantic teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got the kind of the Mitchell versus the Machines energy going on. Did you see that movie?
That was a great film.
Yeah, great film.
Wonderful movie.
Yeah. But with the daughter being like,
Yes.
this is how I express myself. I was like, oh, then
Yeah.
this is.
That movie was really good, actually. It
Oh,
wasn't
it was
just
quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere.
Well, it was that was in development hell. Not it was in post production hell. It kept getting
Yeah.
pushed back, and they changed the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Great flick.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's Marvel.
Good voice cast, too.
Yeah.
Well, we did it, bud.
We did do
I
it.
think we fixed
We
it.
did fix it.
This has been the weirdest episode.
We're in a weird spot, bud. we are tired.
Oh, what are we doing next week?
So.
Oh, that's right. That's
you,
right.
You guys.
Okay.
So next week, I think there's a movie coming out that's kind of a spin-off of a very famous young adult series. And
Yeah.
so what we're going to be doing next week is Jay and I are going to be making our own young adult end of the world apocalypse movie trilogy live on
a
the
young
show.
adult, a young adult trilogy movie series. But I like in my head fiction. It's obviously started as a book series.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, it has to have.
But here's the thing. We're not just going to like, oh, we worked all week and we're kind of, here's some conceptual ideas. No.
No.
We're going to roll for it.
No.
We're going to come up with it on the spot.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we did for the 100th episode or
Yeah.
101st episode.
Which I'm
whatever.
excited about. I think it's always fun.
Oh, it's great. So what's going on? The game basically is that Brian has already come up with a bunch of different topics of like what the protagonists, what makes the protagonist special. What's the relationship issue?
Yeah.
Is it with their parents or with the love triangle? Like what's the? He's already come up with a bunch of the lists of of when the manatees are pushing the balls into the machine. He's already come up with all those options. We will roll for those options.
Yeah.
On the episode itself. What we're about to do right now is we're going to figure out what the title is of this young adult
This is gonna
trilogy.
This is gonna be insane.
I really hope this will work. We have 6 possible.
I have a 6-sided die.
She has a D6. We have 6 possible titles.
A gentleman's 4.
Okay. This is quite good. The Midnight Enigma.
The Midnight Enigma series.
Yeah.
Yeah, books 1
That's
through
great.
3 of the Midnight Enigma. I mean, books 4 is where it gets real sexy.
Well, it's no longer young adult now. They're like, they're adults at this point. So.
Yeah, man.
So just for fun, here are the other choices that could have been.
Okay.
Number 1 was Chronicles of the Hidden Realm.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty good. Number 2, The Lost Keys of Starlight. That's pretty neat. Number 3, Secrets of the Forgotten Land. Number 5, Song of the Shadow Whisperers.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He really took this seriously.
He did.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And number 6, The Echoes of Time.
The Echoes of Time. The Last Will and Testament of Josh.
I mean, yep.
Oh, by the way, there's a character named Josh. Moving on.
I wasn't trying to be subtle with it.
Oh, I know.
But he's from the comic
I
books.
know. It's so funny. Oh, well, we did it, bud.
We did do it.
Thanks so much for listening, you guys. I'm actually really excited about next week. That's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fun.
We're gonna have another great week of previewed content coming your way. We got so much going on. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you are listening to this wherever you catch your podcasts, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just leaving us a quick review. Maybe leaving some kind words and 5 stars. It makes my day. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And do that YouTube that you do so well. Guacamole's Extra, you podcast watching weirdos, you. And as we end every single one of these episodes, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the slow Josh that you didn't see coming. Or maybe you did. But you probably didn't. Because it was Josh the whole time.
Discord was Josh, you guys.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
Bye.
Bye.